Hey, poker people, it's Sky Matsuhashi, and this is the Smart Poker Study Podcast. I know you didn't miss episode 128, but just in case, I talked about desperation tilt and ways to get beyond it, as well as better blind stealing in MTTs. Hey, poker people. Thanks for coming back for some more Smart Poker Study action, and muchas gracias for sharing the show with some of your hombres. What do you think of this song? Does it work for you? I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting used to it, but we'll see. I don't know if I'll switch back or not. Or try other ones, you know. Well, it is day 4 of 7 in a row. And good news! My book is on Amazon.com. Yes, it is. You can get the ebook version. The paperback and the audiobook isn't made available just yet on the website. That seems to take a little bit longer, but that should be up really soon, hopefully by tomorrow. Paperback and ebook, or ebook is available. Paperback and audiobook coming soon. Right now, the ebook is $4.99 and the paperback $14.99, audiobook $14.99 when those are available. But go ahead now, Amazon.com. Even if you don't buy it, just go there and look at my beautiful book. I am so happy. Well, on to the show. I'm answering 2 questions today about poker table etiquette and non-showdown winnings. Please visit the show notes page for everything I discussed today, along with screenshots and links at www.smartpokerstudy.com/pod129. And while you're there, you can sign up for the weekly boost for exclusive poker strategy direct to your inbox. Alrighty, let's get to it. Gambate!
And now for our feature presentation.
Okay, so here's a question that came in from Greg via email. He says, weird poker etiquette question. Several times you mentioned you use Evernote at the table while playing. Are you talking about online or at a casino? Are you allowed to use your phone at a poker table? Would this not be frowned upon since you would have all the math at your fingertips? As far as I know it, as far as you know it, what is the current poker etiquette as to what is allowed or not allowed at the poker table? Thanks, Greg. Alrighty, thank you very much, Greg. I appreciate the question. And I use Evernote when I'm at a live table. At home, I'm just using my Word document or the note tracker within Poker Tracker 4. But let me answer your question first with kind of an etiquette slant. Then I'll get to an ethical slant on the answer or on your question. So when it comes to etiquette, I think it's completely fine. We're all allowed to do what we want and act how we want at the tables. If you want to be social, great. Go ahead and chat away. If you want to bury your face in your smartphone or your tablet or your phone calling your girlfriend or whatever until you get another hand, so be it if that's what you want to do. Some might say that it's not social if you're buried in your phone. But so what? If you're comfortable with it, then that's just fine by me. I have no worries at all. Now, if the casino has rules against doing things, that's a different story. You've got to follow their rules if you want to play there. One of my local casinos here, they say no phones when you're in a hand, and that's totally acceptable. Also, for tournaments, if you want to use the phone, you can't have a hand and you have to step away from the table. And that's fine too. I'm down for that. I've never had any issues stepping away and using my phone. It kind of, a couple things. It hides what I'm doing and they don't need to know what I'm doing anyway. I could be texting my wife. I could be looking up stock prices, or I could be, using a poker app, whatever. They don't need to know. So I'm fine getting away from the table. But I haven't heard of any casinos that ban the use of poker apps or poker calculators or taking notes, I'm sure there are some out there, but they're probably few and far between. Now, if we look at this ethically, I think that while you're at the tables, all programs should be allowed. Anybody can download any app and use it, whether it's a poker tracking software app, an EV calculator, maybe Evernote, or even that Float the Turn app for tournament play. Anyone can use them. If you're using it and they aren't, you're the one being proactive and looking for ways to play better poker. So I'm totally down for it. And when it comes to just the idea of taking notes, which is what you specifically asked about, with Evernote, your thoughts are your own. You're simply putting your thoughts down within Evernote. If anyone has a problem with that, that's their deal. I wouldn't advertise what I'm doing, though, just in case. Get up from your seat or just do it under the table. Make sure you don't let it distract from the action going around, and if they ask you about it, you can answer however you want. Work. Girlfriend. Whatever. It's up to you how you want to answer. But however you answer, they'll just have no idea what you're doing unless you, straight out tell them what you're doing. All right. Thank you, Greg. Alrighty, so there are 2 reasons for these 7 days of podcasts. Reason number 1, my new book, How to Study Poker Volume 1, is out in ebook on Amazon.com. You can go there, just type in the search, How to Study Poker, and then bam, up pops my book, ebook. The paperback and audiobook will be available soon, but at least I got this one down. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So these 7 podcasts are in celebration of that, as well as I am starting my 28-day poker study challenge coming up on April 2nd. It's going to be 28 full days straight of Twitch broadcasting of my study sessions in the morning, and then my play sessions on ACR later that night. If you'd like to join, and please do join, go to smartpokerstudy.com/28 days. While you're there, you can, of course, join the challenge. You can find out why I'm doing it. I have a few goals posted on that page right there, and then you can help me reach my goals. Thank you very much. And once again, that site was smartpokerstudy.com/28 days. The second question today is from Robert, and it was in response to my email asking about his big leaks. And he said the area that he feels he needs to improve is his non-showdown winnings. All right, cool beans. Thanks, Robert. For those who don't know, non-showdown winnings is the amount of chips you win without going to showdown. So it's pre-flop, flop, turn, and river wins combined with any losses. This is called the red line because it's a red colored line on Poker Tracker 4 and Hold'em Manager 2 graphs, and it's normally a down-sloping line, whereas your net winnings and your showdown winnings are usually sloping upwards. So, Robert, to increase this, you'll need to figure out why it's so negative. You'll have to look through your hands that saw a flop and review them. Here are some possible reasons. The first reason, you're seeing the flop with crappy cards. Your range is just way too wide. A second reason, you're folding too much to c-bets or double barrels or triple barrels or check raises, whatever. You're just folding too much. And the third reason is you're calling too liberally with draws only to fold on the river when you completely whiff the river. So here are 5 fixes to help you with your non-showdown red line winnings. Number 1, tighten up pre-flop so you have a stronger range on the flop. Stronger ranges flop better, so you can value bet more often, you can call when you think you're good, and fold when you completely whiff. The second fix, play more in position. The more often you play out of position, the worse your red line's going to be. Make this a focus in your games. Every time you're not on the button and you're considering an open raise or an isolation play, think about the players yet to act and decide whether or not you're likely to see the flop in position. If not, like possibly, there's a calling station or aggro 3 bettors who are behind you yet to act, then maybe not open the pot. When you're thinking about calling out of the blinds, ask yourself, do I really want to see this flop out of position versus this player with this hand? Let the answer to that question determine whether or not you call the flop. And the third fix for you, you know that players c-bet bluff a ton, and I'm sure you do it as well. Because players bluff a ton, you need to occasionally make calls with mediocre pairs and good draws. If you fold too often to c-bets, then your red line will continue to look ugly and just keep plummeting. And the fourth fix is if you're calling draws, try to do so with nut draws, like high open-ended straight draws and the nut flush draw, of course, and do it in position. Don't overpay for your draws, though. That's key. And the fifth fix is try to exercise more aggression post-flop. Check raises and donk leads and calling flop in position to bet out when, it gets checked to you on the turn. All of those aggressive actions give you the opportunity to bluff your opponent off their hand. If you're just playing passively post-flop, hitting or relying on hitting boards to win pots, then you have to hit to win if you're only relying on that passivity. The most profitable players are able to steal pots from their opponents on any street. Alrighty, good luck, Robert. Challenge! Here's my challenge to you for this episode. All you live players out there, start recording your notes in Evernote. Online players take notes directly within Poker Tracker 4, and that is super easy. But you live guys have a little more work to do. You gotta be standing up from your seat, hiding your screen from your neighbors, evading those prying questions into why you're on your phone so much, taking great notes on your live opponents, then reviewing them when you see Bob or Steve or Susie at the table is going to go a long way to helping you exploit each of them. Now it's your turn to take action and do something positive for your poker game.
Now get it on.
Thank you so much for listening today. This episode isn't complete until you head to the show notes page at www.smartpokerstudy.com/pod129. You can go there and see screenshots and links to everything I discussed today and find out some ways you can support the podcast. Speaking of support, I've got a big shout out to Greg Young. He supported me on Patreon starting in the month of March. Thank you so much, Greg. You demand. So if you want to support the show like Greg, go on to patreon.com/smartpokerstudy. And if you want to contact me, and if you can type in the word Smart Poker Study, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Or send me a good old email, sky@smartpokerstudy.com. Alrighty, poker people. Tomorrow I'll be answering 2 more of your questions, so keep them coming. And don't forget about my 28 Days of Poker Study Challenge. Just go to smartpokerstudy.com/28days to join. Word of mouth is the best advertising, so thank you very much for sharing the show with other poker people. Your sharing and caring is what helps us grow. Until next time, study smart, play much, and make your next session the best one yet.